Good evening. It is 6:30. I call this regular meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, school board members, district staff, and community members. As a reminder to us all, the mission of St. Francis Area Schools is to equip all students with the knowledge and skills to empower them to achieve their dreams and full potential while becoming responsible citizens in a dynamic world. Our first item for tonight's agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any questions prior to a motion being made? Seeing no questions, is there a motion for the May 11th, 2026 regular meeting agenda? Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Working. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. Motion prevails 6-0. Thank you. Our next agenda item is the St. Star Award. The St. Star Award was established to publicly recognize St. Francis Area School staff, students, and community members at a school board meeting to highlight the positive and impactful work happening in the district. A listing of all past St. Star recipients is listed on our website under the board page. This month's St. Star Award is presented to St. Francis High School senior Jack Humphrey for setting a high standard for what a student at St. Francis Area School can accomplish. His long list of accomplishments and extensive involvement in activities is just a sample of the impact Jack has made on so many fellow students, teachers, and staff. Jack was nominated for this honor by St. Francis Middle School Principal Heidi Critchley. She said Jack Humphrey easily stands out as one of the most exceptional students I have had the privilege of working with in my more than 25 years in education. I have seen him continue to flourish, growing not only academically, but also in leadership, confidence, and service to others. He possesses a genuine heart, is a thoughtful leader, a strong advocate when needed, and a person of high integrity and character. A few of Jack's highlights include served on the student council at the elementary, middle, and high school levels, and now serves as treasurer and senior class president. While on the St. Francis High School debate team, Jack became the first from St. Francis High School to earn all state honors in congressional debate, and he will be making his second appearance at the national tournament this summer. As a member of the St. Francis High School DECA, he has collected state and national recognition multiple times and helped the school meet national gold level certification standards for the DECA dugout for the first 2 times in school history. In speech and debate, Jack was one of the school's first policy debate state qualifiers in nearly 20 years and is a 2-time national qualifier. He also served as a 4-year manager for the high school varsity boys basketball team and as the announcer for the varsity softball team. Jack is a high-achieving student as well, as he was named an academic All-American by the National Speech and Debate Association and is the school's first ever recipient of the Speaking and Service Award. When asked why he believes it is important to be so involved with high school community, he said, I'm going to try to get my inner Jack here, okay? Throughout my time in St. Francis Area Schools, I learned that the imperativeness to the success of both our district and our students is not only to be involved, but to also lead in any possible aspect. A great team with bold success cannot continue the tradition of excellence and growth unless they have a selfless leader who is willing to put in the time and the effort to achieve greatness. My belief is not only that it is of the utmost importance to our students to be involved, but to operate with and for our school community. Our programs have had long histories of success, and it is without our continuation of that goal of excellence to them that we will only then see them falter from our high level of status. It is then because of those reasons that I have been so grateful to serve and represent St. Francis at different levels and to now receive this award with the utmost humility. Jack, thank you for your dedication to enriching your education as a Saint. And on behalf of the school board and the district, best of luck to you in the future. And I think what you stated sums it up. So thank you, Jack. Let's hear it for Jack.
No, you didn't. Whoa.
Yeah, slide that way. Slide that way. A little more. Chop, chop, slide. Chop, chop. Sure, take a couple here.
Mom, can you get in there?
Mom, do you want? Just do email me, you can send you one of these.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Mom, get in there. You've got to give a speech.
Yes. What was my known for?
Right.
I would
Just
like
wait.
to.
You have 22 seconds. The topic is no.
I usually get 30 minutes. I'd like to sincerely thank the school board and of course my nominee, Ms. Heidi Critchley. Your nomination and your quote towards me is truly humbling. You are one of the most impactful leaders that I've known and someone who has set me off on this trajectory of leading. There are so many teachers and staff here at St. Francis High School that I would like to thank, and if I could, I'd go through my entire list of teachers. Some staff members who have highly impacted my education and my choices in my future would be Mr. Fred for first getting me into public speaking with EBTV in my elementary school days, Mr. Sherrier in my 8th grade year for recruiting me for the debate team. I actually tried to quit debate a couple of weeks in, and it was him who decided to reach out to me and keep me on the team, and here I am 5 years later as one of St. Francis's new top point earners for the first time in 16 years, toppling a record held by Irondale's speed coach Alex Gray. I'd like to thank Mr. Toole, my current debate coach, for keeping my dreams alive, bringing me to this new level of success that I've found within congressional debates and these new levels that we've seen within our district. My DECA advisor, Ms. Schrag, for not only taking me under when I was a sophomore instead of a freshman, but for cheering me on and allowing for me to continue a tradition of excellence that we've seen within our DECA and within our programs here at St. Francis. I'd like to thank my speech coach, Ms. Arnold and Ms. Jonna Rowe, for increasing my public speaking awareness. And then, of course, I would also like to once again thank Ms. Critchley and all of my administrations. It's without your care and without your consideration that I could have never imagined myself today going to be an administrator and hoping and next year continuing my education at Michigan State University on the track of secondary education to hopefully one day become a high school English teacher and come back here and coach the speech and debate programs which have shaped, changed, and impacted my lives positively for the better. I truly thank every single one of you at ISD 15. You all have such an amazing district and opportunities for our students. And I'm truly humbled by this award and by the consideration of our district and the love that I feel time and time again within it. Thank you all so much.
Whose kid is that?
Thank you, Jack. All right, moving on. Our next agenda item is consideration of visitors. I do not have any slips. Did you have any? So we have no consideration of visitors tonight. So we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is the consent agenda. There are 7 items currently in tonight's consent agenda. There will be a roll call vote. Are there any questions or requests to remove an item from the consent agenda prior to a motion? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? Thank you, Ms. Granish. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Working. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, again, this is a roll call vote. Mr. Humphrey? Aye. Ms. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Schoenrock?
Aye.
Ms. Bachman-Clevin?
Aye.
Mr. Working?
Aye.
And I am aye as well. Motion prevails 6-0. Thank you. All right, as we move forward to information items and reports, again, board members, there are 4 tonight. Hold questions till the end of the report. Our first one tonight is the St. Francis High School Student Council update.
Sorry, how many are there?
What?
3.
3, sorry, 3.
I would like to congratulate our 2026-2027 Student Council Executive Board. We will elect a new class president in the fall. Our 2026-2027 Executive Board members are President Grace Sundrew, Vice President Ava Wrestling, Secretary Elise Overby, Treasurer Izzy Bobmore. We will be celebrating the class of 2026 on May 19th with our senior sunset event. There will be student and staff speakers, inflatables, food trucks, and many more fun activities to celebrate their first time at SFAS.
Any questions for Angelique? No questions? She's good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
She must be off the track too. All right, our second item for tonight is the St. Francis Learning Center site report. Our alternative education program supervisor, Ben Craig, will present his 2025-2026 report.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. Appreciate the board, Superintendent Anderson, and the directors for having me out tonight. Hoping to do it maybe a little differently than I've done it in the past, at least. So we've actually got this spotlight video that we're going to watch first.
Saints Academy is able to offer a selection of courses that I'm super proud of. Our other recognition, we've even been told that people at 50 hours was like second to the got a full art department that takes the whole of the school. And on top of that, all of our teachers develop courses that are almost all like electives and really center around the student areas of interest for that. This is just one element of the numerous like marks, right? That special forces unit, right? We like to focus on short, fast-paced sections in our school year that we then, as teachers, provide high-interest categories or topics for each class we're teaching. Our schools do 140 students at any given time, and all of the staff, all of the kids. That's I did very long years. I never did my own. The size is one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest reasons students come here.
Here is where I feel supported and like if I have a problem I can go to someone and it'll be solved and they'll have discipline me. It's fun and exciting that there's different experiences.
What I really like about Saints Academy is the teachers here. They make school better, feel more open.
You're going up against beliefs that have been like rooted for years. It's more than just a teacher-student relationship, it's a mentor. I have kids that come to me with some of the biggest wins and even some of the lowest lows, but they just look forward to coming here and talking to us, and it's really refreshing to see.
It feels like, I can't speak for all the teachers, but I know that me myself, I think these students that are my kids, we don't have very many in the classroom. The ones that we do have in the classroom, we get to know extremely well. We can tell when they're off, we can tell when they're on. And because of the small classes, nobody really slips through the gaps.
Even if you don't go to them now, they will reach out and they'll help you. And there have been so many times where that will pass and they're just like screwing out and help me so much.
I think this school provides so many opportunities through school to get out of school, if that makes sense. So we learn to ice fish. We go out ice fishing every Friday. We go on multiple field trips. Every 6 weeks they go on a TBS field trip. So if you're doing what you need to do, you're getting reward.
Basically, my piece of work from this artist. The one thing I want parents to know about Saints Academy is I am here to support you and your children. I want your children to succeed just as much as you do. I want them to walk out of here with an experience and an understanding of something that will set them up for the future. How do you notice the elements of art in the work? What sort of colors, patterns, shapes?
I love this school and things about the school, like how it's designed and how the teaching is done, the assessments especially. They give you the freedom. They actually let you, most of the time in certain classes, pick what you want to learn instead of getting forced onto it.
The teachers here, they know how to make kids feel comfortable and they're able to do whatever they need to do.
You don't feel like you're in a sea of people unnoticed. You feel like you everyone is individual, now everyone you feel noticed by people, by teachers, by students, no one is alone.
So what I'm most proud about is the fact that we have taken the alternative part of being like an area learning center really serious. We've developed a ton of class options that most ALCs aren't able to give to students. And on top of that, we're also providing like a really serious rigorous education. It's not packet work, it's serious projects, not like intellectual work. That'll help prepare students for when they're in school.
And, I realize I'm famous now, but I won't forget any of you and I won't treat any of you any differently, so. But in all seriousness, big shout out to Dax Larson for helping us get this rolling. He, shouldered a lot of the initial burden in the planning and whatnot, and we wouldn't have been as successful in creating that without him. Additionally, the OPs for the building, Christine Winhauser and Megan Nordstrom, were also super, a very large part, even though they chose not to be on screen very much, they were a huge part of making it successful behind the scenes. So
I'm gonna break my own rule. What is that for? Because I know you didn't make that for this presentation.
Absolutely.
So can you explain what that video is for?
So ALCs, area learning centers, right, may or may not have a reputation, which is something that again, there's probably some other terms you've heard used for ALCs. Our ALC is really unique in that it's like this comprehensive, serious high school program. And I think getting that out to just not only the local community, but the broader community is super important. ALCs, our ALC should be bringing in students. The programming that we offer is unlike any other ALC that I can think of, especially in the metro. And having an opportunity to get that out to people is the goal of this video. So there was kind of the twofold purpose of trying to work on the local reputation, because again, some people, if they went to high school here, they maybe understand that building as being one thing, but it isn't and hasn't been for a while. And then more broadly speaking, as we hope to bring in students from outside of the district even, or at least, with our cooperating district, giving them an opportunity to see what the building is before stepping foot into it, I think is 90% of the battle in trying to get a student enrolled in a building like ours. So, yeah. I did want this to be much more Q&A oriented, which is why I produced the one-pager with some highlights for you guys. I'm really open to answer anything. It can be in regards to that, the video, anything else that's going on in the building. Just want this to be valuable time for you guys, but I'm really open to answering anything.
Mr. Schroeder.
So is the video available online?
Yeah, so I believe it is on the Learning Center's main page. I believe it is on the district's YouTube, and then I believe it also went out in a specific Facebook or social media post closer to when it was originally produced, so a few weeks back.
I know you said it wasn't made for us, but I
Right.
love the presentation. It brings kids into these different perspectives, and not that we don't like your perspective, but it just gives multiple viewpoints of what's going on over there. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, the students did a really good job. You could probably tell a couple that were nervous, but we tried to do a really representative cross-section of all the students and all that, so.
Plus, it gives them the skill of speaking to a camera,
For sure.
which very few appreciate or know how to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
If I keep asking questions. How many students can you handle there?
Programmatically or infrastructure-wise, right, you might have two different answers there, but 150 is an easy answer. I'd say our exact current staffing may be a little less than that, but we could ramp up really easily. So
You're at 120?
100 right now. No, this is a lower year than traditional. Yeah, I would say typically we're at about 120 right around now. But yeah, not this year.
Yeah, and I've said it before, I just love field trips, so I just love to hear that they're out doing things. I think that's how they learn best, is out doing things. And just trying new things and seeing what they like, and who knows, maybe a career would spark from something.
Right.
But
Yeah, this is the end of year 4 for me with the district and with the building, and this year has been our best year in terms of really taking that experiential ed seriously. So we've done a ton of curriculum work, all of the other things, and just now they're starting to get a lot more into cross-curricular stuff, doing the experiential ed with the field trips, and The outdoor ed, starting in that vein, I think helped open up some of the other content areas' eyes in terms of like, well, what could we be doing here on top of this, right? So it's not just a canoe trip, but they actually go out and they'll do, you know, like landscape drawing and stuff while they're in the canoes, so it can kind of serve dual purpose and stuff like that. So.
Go on.
So I've had the pleasure of kind of getting to know the program yourself over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I just want to commend you and thank you for what you and your crew are doing over there. It's absolutely outstanding what you guys are doing. And then to take it a step farther and kind of try and break that stigmatism of what that represents is just huge, man. So congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, we appreciate that. Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We really are one of the most cutting edge ALCs in the state. ALCs are a strong interest for me, and so I keep up professionally with like, you know, the research and what other ALCs are doing, and I wouldn't want to work in any other ALC. So.
Yeah, if I could add that you deserve the credit for, you know, those kinds of activities, because I don't think many of them shown in the video were in place when you started. For example, you know, Phil Bray and the PE program, we didn't have art classes there. You applied for and received the DNR grant, which allowed to do the ice fishing and buy a bunch of equipment. And, you know, the list goes on and on. Ms. Parson has also been greatly involved, and she supervises Mr. Craig as well as a whole bunch of other program supervisors. So, you know, there's a lot of credit there, but kudos to you.
Yeah, having leadership that care about ALCs is super important. So without, you know, Deborah, Kirsten, and the rest of you guys, it would have been hard to get here. I said it at the beginning of this year. I think it's on a little star over there somewhere, but I really mean it. Any year here, we should be winning ALC of the year. So I thought it was this year, but I'm really hoping for next year. So.
If you talk to the students as well, like I've had some friends of our family that have gone through the program, and it's, you know, that's their preferred. It's not I mean, you know, it doesn't have any type of stigma attached to it. Like, that's something like, hey, this is for me. So I really like how you, like in the video, of course, included the students, but it seems like you're really speaking their language, providing what they're looking for, selling them what they want to buy. I love all of that, and it's you're really making some headway, and the harmony in that building is like common. So kudos, really nice work. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mr. Charles.
Just for those listening at home that have kids that might be interested, do they have to be 100% in that building, or can they go from high school back and forth?
Yeah, we typically offer that up to older students for the most part, but yeah, any percentage of part-time, they're welcome to try out the building. We have students that do, you know, 1 hour in our building and the rest at the high school, or the inverse. So yeah, you can kind of try it out and do whatever.
One last little comment. I know graduation is coming up, and if you haven't been to the graduation over there, it's pretty neat. I mean, those kids just hug every teacher that's in that building. It's just something to see, and I know it's coming up. I look forward to being there for that.
Yeah, I recommend anybody that can make it try to. It's unique, it's different, it's faster, and there's a lot of families there that I think are just really happy to be there. So.
Kirsten.
Could you touch upon plans for next year, especially with 7th and 8th graders?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are in the very early kind of planning stages to provide kind of true middle school ALC programming in the district, which would be incredibly unique. Currently, we do some remedial and ALC math programming at the middle school, which is typically how most districts do it. They'll do kind of some of the core content areas at whatever their middle school is. We are hoping to hire for and then, you know, finalize the development of like a true pull-out at the Learning Center class, it would look like at first. So, you know, potentially a dozen to 15 at the high end, start with less than that and ramp the programming up. And it would serve a similar purpose to like the ALC in general, right? Students that need smaller class sizes, students that need a smaller environment, students that might need more project-based or experiential learning, and then just you know, staff that are going to be able to take more time out for their individual needs. So probably start in a half dozen range and kind of ramp up as we go. So a request that we've had since day one for me starting here, and there are are 2 or 3 in the state that are running it as we are planning to run it. So it'll be incredibly unique.
Perfect. I see a principal back there that's nodding right along. It's definitely been something, I think it's been on our whiteboard for a while, ALC question mark. So thank you for taking that on. And we anticipate that'll be fully operational this next year, or are we still?
Because we're gonna start it so small and because we're gonna piggyback on the staffing that already exists, I think it's able to launch much faster than it might otherwise be able to. And so assuming that we can find the right fit to staff like the homeroom teacher, I think we'll be able to pick up pretty quickly.
Mr. Humphrey, you had your hand up.
I was just wondering if you had heard from any of your soon-to-be graduates, like what their hopes and dreams and aspirations are.
Yeah, we have a really high percentage that obviously go into trades and whatnot. A lot of folks that follow after dad or mom in terms of whatever trade it was. We also have a really high percentage that end up going into the military, which is always great. But again, you know, I kind of gestured towards this idea earlier. There's still so many that are just shocked to actually be getting over the finish line, I think, that I think just kind of getting out into the adult world is still such a big deal for many of them. So.
You give them those tools, helping them with those tools, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben, do you know what the official graduation date is? Is it on the calendar already?
It is, yep, and it's the 3rd, if I remember correctly.
We got it.
Yeah, I just know Christy reached out to
Can you speak a little bit about that work-based learning? So
Yeah.
specifically the acronyms of ACTE and PAES, just what that is and what we did with that, please.
Yeah, so Saints Academy has had a work-based learning program for a long time. Actually, that does predate me. And that's a really awesome program and super beneficial for the students that we serve, obviously. We are looking into extending that out into our special populations more. And so like our T15 programming and then obviously the other students with IPs in the building, being able to access some of that. And then a PAYS lab is like a career skills lab to help prepare students, especially those with more needs than others, to kind of enter out into the workforce. And so those are some big things that we're looking forward to doing. The Perkins approval stuff has changed a little bit for this coming academic year, and it's going to make it easier for teachers to access Perkins funding. And then the ACTE, which is Perkins funds towards special populations, also makes it a little easier to access funding for that kinds of stuff. So just expanding out the in the building opportunities for the work-based learning, and then also expanding it to a larger proportion of the kids in the building.
Are there specific resources you need from the district to accomplish those goals?
I think there are some changes we're making in the medium term here that will make it easier for me to focus on my building and perform the Perkins functions at a higher level. That'll just make it more successful for everybody. So outside of that, no.
And will your work-based learning go outside of the district? Because I know you do some of the work inside district. Will they go outside into the community as well?
On the SPED ACTE side of things, it tends to stay in the district just because that's what's easier to access. But for the traditional work-based learning side, I mean, wherever they're working is wherever they're working. Our hope is to increase more like apprenticeship type stuff and potentially access funding that would enable employers to take on a student that they might not traditionally be able to pay for. And all of that is just like Perkins stuff that has to be fleshed out, and that'll hopefully kind of increase student opportunity. Perkins is in a weird flux space right now with a lot of stuff changing. So there's a lot of rules to get hammered out still.
Any other questions? Carson, anything else?
No, thank you again.
Ben, anything else you really wanted to share that we didn't ask you?
No, I can nerd out about ALC stuff forever. So if you guys are good, I'll make myself pretty good. But no, I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And next time you guys see me, I appreciate Vanessa because I kept trying to kick the can because I was waiting for certain things to happen. And I'm hoping next time I'm here, it's with some good news from the state about some recognition that we deserve. So.
Well, Ben, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the video. That is awesome. And for your passion with your role. So we see it. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, our next report is the admin report. Superintendent Anderson, let's see some of that passion from Ben.
The high school did receive a secondary school principal award because of how they improved math scores last year at the high school. So we want to thank the high school team for their work in following through with that. Senior Scholarship and Awards Night is May 13th. Military Signing Day is May 15th at 7 a.m. Just want to emphasize this AM. If you can go to that, please go. It's a really special event. Typically in a year, we have 10 to 12 kids who have signed up for the military. I'm not sure the numbers this year, but it's a great day. That evening, also May 15th, we have the Multicultural Festival. That's from 5 to 8 p.m. at the high school. Memorial Day displays are going to be shown at the high school and the middle school. So again, if you can visit those areas. Mike Starr is involved with that, along with the Military Signing Day. We have a recognition of our retirees occurring on May 26th. The get-together starts at 5:30, so hopefully most of us can attend that as well. And then the last item is the result of questions that were asked at a previous board meeting in terms of assigning value to donations. Ms. Dubell, did double check with the Minnesota Department of Education at a conference she was at, and MDE recommended not assigning value to donations because in doing so it would place some liability, on us. So, but the people making the donation, often do that, for themselves. And that advice is consistent with what I've learned in past years in other districts. That's all I have.
Thank you, Carson. Any questions? Mr. Anderson.
If I could note that my presentation tonight was a lot less than 25 minutes from the last board meeting. I was teased about my 25-minute presentation, so I tried to keep it short this time.
You did good. For the retiree reception, so an invite will be going out from myself as the board chair on behalf of all of us. So I highly encourage everyone to come. If you can't come at 5:30, that's fine, but anytime before our regular meeting, it's always fun to have conversations with those that are retiring and looking for better things afterwards. It's just fun to hear the stories of their time here. So if you can make it, please encourage you to do so. All right, moving forward to action items. 7.1 is approval of the teacher work agreement for 25-27. Mr. Nelson is here as well as members of the negotiating team if there are any questions. Do we have any questions prior to a motion? All right, seeing no questions, is there a call to motion for approval of the 2025-2027 teacher work agreement as presented? So moved. Thank you, Member Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Schoenrock. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing no discussion, if you are in favor, signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. Motion prevails 6-0. Thank you. Agenda item 7.2, approval of capital related budgets for 26-27. Don will present an overview of the capital budgets as recommended by administration.
This will not be as exciting as both years, but it'll be interesting. Yeah, can you put it on the, all right. Good evening, Chair Burr, board members, Superintendent Anderson, staff, and public. I'm speaking tonight to present the proposed operating capital and LTFM, which is long-term facilities maintenance projects for fiscal year 26-27, as shown in your board packet that you have received and had a chance to review. And this is usually the time of year that districts typically discuss, analyze, and roadmap any upcoming capital or LTFM needs that need to be addressed
for the upcoming fiscal year. A team of us met earlier to discuss the needs of potential projects that we are looking to complete in the 2026-27 with operating capital and LTFM dollars. The first slide is the budgetary analysis summary of operating capital, the assigned fund balance for transportation, LTFM, and the construction fund budget to actual fund balance for 25-26, the revised revenue and expense budgets with an estimated fiscal year-end fund balance for each category. I just want to make a note that I have not added any items tonight regarding construction fund, as they are only in the RFP stage right now. You want to move to the second page? The second page of the presentation is a worksheet for operating capital. And on this page, we've addressed a definite need to repair both the track and the tennis courts in fiscal year 26-27. We are also looking to purchase 4 buses, potentially using the assigned fund balance that is set aside for transportation, hence why it's on the summary page. Also, in the transportation department, we're looking to replace a vehicle lift using operating capital. The lift is leaking, Chris, hydraulic fluid, some type of fluid. I'm assuming it's hydraulic fluid, and is deemed a safety risk. We will also potentially be setting aside some dollars for contingency as a rainy day situation may arise. It can happen, but we will set aside some dollars for that. If we don't use them, that'll go into the fund balance. You want to go to the next page? Thanks, Vanessa. The next page addresses the health and safety side of our long-term facility maintenance needs. As you can see and review, we've listed items that will or may need addressing in fiscal year 26-27. Each category has items listed that are typically performed throughout each fiscal year, such as us having health and safety management agreement with our environmental company that assists us in keeping our buildings OSHA compliant, and other items such as sprinkler and fire extinguisher inspections, that all comes out of our health and safety dollars that we receive. On the LTFM side. The last page, if you want to go to that, Vanessa. The last page of this presentation represents the deferred maintenance, which is project-based, part of our long-term facilities maintenance. Both sides coincide with their 10-year facilities maintenance plan that I will probably be presenting in June. We identified items and potential projects that need addressing in the upcoming fiscal year, such as repairing 2 elevators that are in dire need of repair. Also replacing the door at the St. Francis Elementary, mitigating some water intrusion at St. Francis Elementary, also some sidewalk repair at East Bethel and Cedar Creek Elementaries. Also, there's a need to repair some dry wells under the stadium that have collapsed with this last hard rain we have experienced. So there are some project needs that we are addressing. As you'll notice, I did not put any dollars, I did not assign dollars. We are going through the quote process, but we will not go over our LTFM or our operating capital budget. I just didn't want to put dollars out there if I wasn't totally sure what we were going to be looking at. If you have any questions that myself, Karsten, or Chris could answer.
Mr. Shore.
Just wondering what elevator repairs being done at Cedar Creek.
He wants to know which elevators.
There are two elevators in Cedar Creek. It's the high school and middle school.
Yep, I didn't put a location because I wasn't sure which 2 elevators that we were going to be repairing, but we are working on that. And we're hoping to do more of the effect next fiscal year. We just didn't know how much it was going to cost, and we took the ones that had the most urgent need.
Right, it just said elevator Cedar Creek, I just wasn't
Oh,
aware
I'm
if
sorry.
there's any there.
Sorry. about
Mr.
that.
Humphrey.
We're adding one now.
Yeah.
It's a
Go
type
to
of,
the pool on the roof.
There you go.
it's a type of repair.
I really appreciate the district prioritizing replacing buses ahead of schedule. Like, I've talked to Peggy and I've talked to Steve, and there's a sweet spot where you can still sell what buses we have and make an amount of money. And then there's also the spot where you're under warranty, and like we all know this, it's like,
holding on to a vehicle forever or selling it when you still can make some money and then, taking the benefit of that. And I've seen the numbers on that and I really appreciate it. I think that's a wise move forward. At one time we changed to propane and that was beautiful for that time, but then I started to think, oh no, all of our stuff is the same age. So feathering it in like we're doing right now is very wise, and I really appreciate the district taking priority on that. That'll keep our buses running the way they should and with minimal costs in downtown.
Agreed.
Any other questions, comments? Carson, you have any?
No, thank you, Ms. Duval, for your work on this. You just started in January, and we were able to compile this along with a whole bunch of other budget-related information in short order, so I appreciate that.
So I'm assuming Cedar Creek doesn't have an elevator?
Or a pool.
Not yet.
Such bad information, Chris. I apologize about that. We are gonna fix 2 elevators though.
No worries.
Mr. Humphrey, you gonna?
This comment has more to do with like your job in general, but we're all hearing the news now that Minneapolis found $21 million that was kind of helping them along, and Robbinsdale lost $21 million. So maybe those two should talk, but I think that it's very important that like we have someone like you on the ground in the office. This is a great move. Working with you on teacher negotiations and everything like that. I know you're getting into our school district, but your wisdom shows through. So keeping us in the black is much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am asking that, recommend that we approve this if at all possible. So
Perfect.
the committee can move forward to giving us quotes and getting our repairs needed, done that are needed.
All right, is there a call to motion for approval of the capital-related budgets for 26-27 as presented? Thank you, Member Anderson. Is there a second?
So,
Thank you, Mr. Workman. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. Motion prevails 6-0. Thank you. Next agenda item is upcoming meetings and preliminary topics. Are there any questions or comments about the upcoming meetings? Mr. Schultz.
It wouldn't be on the meeting, in upcoming meetings, but I've talked about it before, but a meal or something before a meeting that all of us can attend. I'd like to put it from the talking stage to an action stage and get it on the calendar at some point.
are you gonna fire at the grill or?
I don't want, I mean, it's not gonna come out of school fund, I can prepare it with a meal that's welcome to do that.
I'll bring dessert.
All right. No, if you want, I'll cook a meal up.
Cookies from Quick Trip work, or are you thinking?
I will talk to the superintendent. We'll look at a schedule that fits for a prior to.
Yeah.
Probably won't do it for the retirement one, but we'll look at some dates and some options. Yep. I'll get that put on. Okay. Any other questions or comments, Mr. Humphrey?
And I you said to keep bringing it up, but
Yep.
all those topics that I had brought up earlier to hopefully get on the discussion. And in case it's like, hey, let's not talk about what Crazy Jake wants to talk about, these aren't my ideas. These are people saying, hey, let's talk about this. So you could write it down that it was Rob's suggestion. That would help grease the wheels. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is not Crazy Jake. So I did respond back. I don't remember the dates that I gave you on there, but we are looking, let me just go off the top of my head. I know for the library, we're working with Claudia to have a presentation forward. The behavior data, we're waiting for some information from all of the admins from all the sites. They're going to go through kind of an after action of how everything went this year, what worked, what didn't. And then some recommendations, and that will come back to the board for a discussion as well. I don't remember the third.
The bus situation too.
Yes, so the transportation is looking at options for routes outside of just us managing them. Maybe some contract routes. They're looking at some courses of action for that as well, which will eventually come back to the board with a recommendation and some information on cost and that kind of thing. So Everything is getting worked, it's just taking a little bit of time, but Jake, thank you for bringing it up, keep us honest on it.
It was Rob's idea.
Rob's idea, yes. All right, next agenda item is school board member reports. Member Anderson. Okay, Member Schoenrock.
Congrats again to Jack. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I think that award will be named after you, but you're going to go on and do great things. So good luck. Other than that, the all-night party, the senior all-night party is coming up right after graduation. I know they're looking for volunteers. And off the top of my head, I can't remember how to sign up, but if people are looking to sign up, you can contact me and I can point them in the right direction. Other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Humphrey.
I'd like to thank the negotiating teams and the teachers for coming together. Boy, I didn't think that was going to come together like it did. That's awesome that everyone worked their way towards a reality in the middle. I too would like to compliment Jack. Yeah, so the thing is, years and years of grace, and he's good at what he does, and there's that stuff. But my favorite comments always, it's always like a pleasure in class, or when I meet at conferences, it's looks me in the eye, asks me how my day is going, and it's these soft skills, man. I mean, that'll take you through it. Also, the fact that you want to be a teacher, and the fact that you want to be a teacher and come back here and grow a speech and debate program, I think that's really a long view, and I really appreciate that. And I just think you're kind. I think you're smart. I think you have that stuff going for you. But I just think you're kind, and I think you listen, and I think you're a good leader. So that's the stuff that's really important, and I'm proud of you for that. So nice work. Thank you. I'm crying, you're crying.
Thank you. Member Malcolm.
I do not have any updates.
Member Working.
No, just school year's coming to a close. Just want to thank teachers, staff, and students. Everybody pay attention to your calendar. There's a lot of fun things coming up in the next 3 weeks here. So.
Okay, thank you. I have no committee reports in between meetings. We already talked about the approval of the work agreement, so great work from everyone that was involved in that. I don't think green's gonna look as good on you as navy blue, but that's fine. We'll take a pause for a few minutes on that, okay? Jack, thank you so much for what you do, what you've done, how you inspire all of us on the board as you move forward with your career. We're excited to see where it goes. All right, last item for tonight is adjournment. Are there any questions prior to a motion being made? No questions. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Member Working, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Member Anderson. Any discussion on that motion? No discussion on that motion. If you are in favor, signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Motion prevails.
I did like it.
Meeting is adjourned, 7:19 p.m.
I'll just put in one.
So the shade sign, police sign?